for all these. The Three Musketeers is a candy bar made in the United States and Canada by Mars Incorporated. It is a candy bar consisting of chocolate-covered fluffy whipped nougat. It is virtually identical to the global Milky Way bar and similar to the American version Milky Way bar. So there's a global Milky Way and a American Milky Way. Interesting. But only smaller and minus the caramel topping. The Three Musketeers bar was the third brand produced and manufactured by M&M and Mars, introduced in 1932. Originally had 3 pieces in one package, flavored chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. Hence the name, which is derived from the 1844 novel, The Three Musketeers. Rising costs and wartime restrictions on sugar saw the phasing out of the vanilla and strawberry pieces to leave only the more popular chocolate. Costing 5 cents when it was introduced, it was marketed as one of the largest chocolate bars available, one that could be shared by friends. Wow. I mean, that's the Three Musketeers.
First of all, I'm going to interrupt you right there. I was letting you do your little facts. I'm going to tell you, this is the least favorite bar that I have that we have up here. I do not understand why people get this and why that every place I went to looking for these bars, they had the Three Musketeers. I'm like, why don't you have Take 5? Why don't you have Whatchamacallit? No, what they had was the Three Musketeers. How is this a good bar? I haven't even ate it, and I know I'm not going to like it. The only time that I ever have Three Musketeers is when it's mini in Halloween size, because then the nougat to chocolate ratio is good. But an actual Three Musketeers bar, the full bar, Dan, I know I'm not going to like this. I know it.
I'm just as nervous about this as you, and it was the easiest one to get. In fact, when I first grabbed it, I was at CVS when it finally reopened, and there were two huge bars in one package, and I thought, oh, is that the new size? Thankfully, I did not buy that one. But you're right. The Take 5 was impossible to get. In LA, I had to go to 2 stores to even get everything. I couldn't even get a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup at one store. I had to go to CVS and Target to get everything. And I still couldn't get a Take 5. Yeah.
So I'm going to say the Take 5, I actually saw one in the Farmingdale gas station, which also, by the way, at the same time, I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know what? I should just get the ones that are on the list right now. Like, I see them, right? But I decided not to. I don't know why. Because, I know why. It was 80 degrees out, and I was like, if I leave these in my car, they're going to melt, and that's going to be gross. But I didn't get them. I was like, I live in Astoria. Every bodega is going to have every single one of these. And when you took away the Take 5, that was going to be easier for me. But guess what? I was very wrong. Because the Whatchamacallit,
oh my God,
is one of the hardest bars to find anywhere outside of a gas station.
Which doesn't bode well for the Whatchamacallit. So we have the Whatchamacallit, right? Like,
yeah.
Let me just a brief history of the Whatchamacallit. It was first introduced in 1978. So it is, I think, out of all 4 of the ones that we're going to do, the youngest bar. The name was devised by Sally Grayson, the writer of Stuffed, Adventures of a Restaurant Family, when she was the associate creative director at Doyle, Dane, and Bernbach, and was in charge of new brands on the Hershey account. From 1978 to 1987, Whatchamacallit consisted of a bar of peanut-flavored crisps that utilized peanut butter as the flavoring agent, coated in a thin layer of chocolate. From 1987 to 2008, Whatchamacallit has introduced peanut-flavored crisps that utilize peanut butter as the flavoring agent with a layer of caramel and a layer of chocolate coating. Hershey's Whatchamacallit is found in recipes for various food items, including pies, cookies, cheesecakes, and cupcakes. The advertising for Whatchamacallit peaked in the 1980s. After this period, Hershey Company ran noticeably fewer advertisements for this product. However, despite the lack of attention, the company gives it compared to its other products. The Whatchamacallit is still in production as of 2020. In Canada, an identical candy bar is marketed by Hershey's as Special Crisp, but does not have the wide distribution in Canada that the Whatchamacallit has in the U.S. Now, Whatchamacallit, I would say it's hard to measure between Whatchamacallit and Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, which we'll get to the controversy of it being on the list. But it is one of my favorites. It was always my favorite. I love the commercials. They were insane. Whatchamacallit was the hardest to get, though.
Dude, I love the Whatchamacallit. And it's so funny to talk about it because Kristen's, my wife's like, what are we getting? I'm like, the whatchamacallit. Like, it's just named perfectly. The advertising was great. Everything about the whatchamacallit is good. I remember, yeah, whatchamacallit. I remember anytime I would be going up to Vermont to go snowboarding, I would stop at a gas station and it would be Rolos, Caramello, and of course a whatchamacallit. I couldn't leave without a whatchamacallit. So I was really happy that I finally found it. I will tell you that right before this podcast, we rushed around Astoria, 4 different stores. No, 5 different stores before we finally found one. And the only reason why I found one is the guy asked me, "What are you looking for?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm doing a podcast. I need to talk about the whatchamacallit." And he's like, "Oh, well, we have this to replace." I'm like, "No, I need the whatchamacallit." One of his clients remembered that he had them, and there was only 2 left on the shelf. Okay, so I almost left, and I was almost going to come to this podcast without the whatchamacallit. All right, so I got that literally 10 minutes before this podcast. So that's how hard it was. But yet in Farmingdale, Long Island, they got whatchamacallits everywhere. I'll just let you know that. They even have whatchamacallits in 2 different wrapper coloring. I got this one, the beige one. So I think me and you got the same flavor. Good. Yeah. So mine was, it says made with chocolate, peanut butter flavored crisp, and caramel. Yeah. So I want to save this to the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it is the one we have to leave to the end. It is hopefully the palate cleanser.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's the whatchamacallit. The third one on the list that we're doing is the Snickers.